If you thought the only Gung Fu Gaul was Jean-Claude Van Damme, you'd be wrong. There's another fighting Frenchman on the silver screen. His name is Olivier Gruner. He had a big hit on video with Angel Town a couple of years ago, and he's back now with Nemesis, and I'm with him today. Olivier, ça va? Welcome to Ballistic.
Thanks.
Now, it's been quite a while since the release of Angel Town, and now we've got Nemesis. Why such a long time between the two films?
Well, you have to be very careful when you have a career, and you have to plan it. And if I have done, a few movies, like kickboxing movies, one after the other one, then after everybody will picture me like, a kickboxer in the movie. And I didn't want to. I wanted to cross over right away from a kickboxing picture, go into, like more action.
Right. Now, I heard a story about you that you were discovered. Were you working as a bouncer? And you had a picture of yourself on the wall behind, and Eric Carson saw the. Where was this in Cannes?
It was in Cannes. It was, I think it was in '87.
Yeah.
And I was working with my friend. He's American, and he said to me, put your poster on the wall. And I said, come on, Dave, I'm not going to do that. He said, yeah. So I put my poster on the wall like I was a champion, and a guy was staring at the poster for half an hour.
Yeah.
And he looked at it, I started talking to the guy, and said, well, let me write to Imperial Entertainment. And he wrote to different companies, and Imperial wrote me back. They wanted to see me in Los Angeles.
And that was it? That was Eric Carson?
No, that was not Eric Carson. Carson, I met him after in LA, so it was somebody else.
But also, before you did Angel Town, didn't you help with the choreography on another Van Damme movie for Imperial? Was it AWOL?
No, I never did.
Because you got a credit at the end. Thank you to Olivier Gruner.
Yeah, what I did is because I was in the Special Force before. I was in the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
And I spent quite a time, sometimes in Africa, in Djibouti.
Yeah.
And they needed some footage, some pictures from Djibouti when they did AWOL.
Right.
So what I did, I helped them getting all the, foreign legion thing that they needed, and I gave it to them.
Oh, so you were kind of helping the research for the background?
Yeah, especially military background.
Right. Now, Angel Town is really interesting to me because, I knew you from your kickboxing background, but actually in the movie itself, you do a lot of the Steven Seagal stuff, the throws and multiple edits on techniques. Was this a conscious thing? You didn't want to be seen as being, a mainstream martial arts star or such?
Yeah, what I try to do is, in life, during all my life, sometimes you go in the street and you have some troubles and you have to defend yourself. So I wanted to make Angel Town not like a typical martial arts picture. I wanted to look as real as possible with the different techniques that I learned, in the martial arts. But it has to be real. In a fight, you're not going to do the double flip.
No,
in real fight. You're pretty scared, pretty intense.
Did you find it hard adapting your real fighting technique to use on film?
That's a good question because no, not at all. Because we used to spar and we know the distance between each fighter. We have a good timing. When you have a good fighter, you have a good timing, and you know where you're gonna hurt and when you're gonna hurt a person and when you're not gonna hurt him. And plus, when we do a lot of shadow boxing, so we are used to just to throw some punches and kicking in the air.
Gotcha. Now, the next film you did after Angel Town for Imperial, as part of your contract, was Nemesis, which is this kind of cyberpunk, high-tech, different kind of, very little martial arts in it. So really a bold venture. When you look at the film now, with all your long experience of it, what's your feeling towards the film, towards Nemesis?
Well, I like the picture. I mean, it's you have to watch it twice, like I said.
Yeah.
The first time you're going to be driven by the action, but the story is going to be a little bit missing because the action is so intense. So you forget totally about the story.
Yeah.
But then, if you watch it 2 or 3 times, then you begin to understand it.
Right.
Then the only thing I could say, I would have loved to have more hand-to-hand combat in the picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the martial arts stars now are trying to do these films with as little of like Nowhere to Run as just happened for Van Damme, where he didn't have any fighting in it.
You're right, but the big hits now, what is it? It's a thing with martial arts.
That's it. That's true. Yeah.
Actually, not pure martial arts, but I'm talking about fighting.
Yeah.
And I love really street fight. That's why I like using martial arts, of course, but make it as real as possible.
And one thing I did like about Nemesis was the use of a lot of the guns and stuff. It was very much you had the coat and the glasses at the beginning, like the character Chow Yun-fat plays in A Film Called A Better Tomorrow by John Woo. Was that an influence, the Chinese style?
I think the director, yes, because he's a director more would decide, what kind of wardrobe you're going to wear, and, he's influenced a lot by John Woo. Now, I'm glad actually because he's a great director, John. You know, and but there is a sense of Blade Runner in it.
Yes,
too,
very much.
Know? And it's pretty dark. It's a dark picture, but it's different. It's very good for me. I mean, it's very. When you watch it, we went to Hawaii, we went to Arizona, and we went to Fontana. When we worked with a team of Terminator 2, so it was great. I mean, we had a great time.
There can't be many films where you've been asked to do as many different looks or as many different things in a movie as you had to do in that film. There's everything, you know.
Yeah, we did. It was very intense. Physically, it was very, very intense.
Now, I don't want to give too much of the game away, but you actually have Bobby Brown was your double for the high falls and everything, who's a real, you guys work really well together. And Vic Armstrong was telling me the other day you're going to do Tarzan, maybe?
Yeah, I can't really talk about it.
Great, you know.
Yeah, well, we are talking about a lot of things.
Oh, you can't really talk about it because of you.
Yeah, and it's, you know, Bobby Brown will be my stunt for a long time because he's a professional.
Sure.
And he's a very good guy, and we get along very well together.
It's nice you're giving credit to him because some of the action actors are kind of like, they don't want to talk about who the stunt guy is because the audience will think it's them or whatever.
No, most of the stunt I did it anyway, except the high fall. Yeah. Because, you know, he's a professional.
Sure.
I mean, I can't take that away from him.
Right.
The guy is a terrific jumper. He do double flip, a triple flip.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do that.
Sure. The next movie for Imperial, the last film for your contract with them is 0 Hour.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
Well, we have different, we have to put it together, so it's not ready yet, and we are talking about it. Now they are filming Double Dragon, so, and as soon as they finish it, then after we can start 0 Hour.
And what's your plan beyond the Imperial contract? Do you know which direction you're going to go in after that?
Yes, we have 2, 3, 4 different pictures, big pictures.
With big studios, with big companies?
Some, yeah.
You
I can't really talk about it because...
Get the cattle prod. I just want to say, this guy, talk about a career arc. I first saw him in 1985 in Budapest, and he was fighting on Dominic Valera's kickboxing team, and he was this skinny little guy. Look at him now, he's an international superstar, so it's really formidable. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for being on Ballistic.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.